Good morning, this is Cara Coffey of the Ministry of Uncover No More. Do you know how it is to have a triumphant celebratory time after war, and yet the war is still moving on? Do you know how that is, America? Because there's some of you that I'm just going to go ahead and say, yes, I'm doing beautiful poetry. You need to bitch slap your literal self. I'm not saying to hit yourself, but I have actually seen people hit themselves in this society in frustration and anger because they can't keep up with your bullshit. Did you not read the New Testament, Christianity, Catholicism? I'm willing to wager a good many of us Buddhists have read your Bible, converted to Buddhism in the meantime because y'all are so fake. Excuse me for my bit of vitriol before Henry Wadsworth Longfellow and I move my real people along. But I have someone very special in my life who commented on something from Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz is from Texas, like I am. He is spouting 100% pure lies, and the media that lets him do that is just as criminal as he is. That's not an opinion, America. That's not an opinion. That's fact. I'm not talking to you. Machination of child rape, murder of people, slavery, you name it. I'm not talking to you. You're the wicked. I've loved my enemy beyond belief and am about to continue to chronicle the deliverance of my family. Just a moment. This is a book you're not privileged to see the contents of. Don't you love the grand old party and Ukraine's blue? Bought this at Walmart some time ago. It's seen some use. And but you can see, you will see, you should see, someone gifted me this that is very special in my life, because I'm going to go back to bread baking. Have already done one live and actually pulled off the internet. And this is the website. I don't know if it shows the website on here. Yes. Butterwithasideofbread.com. I love that. Homemade buttermilk bread. And the reason that I'm doing that is culture, as in bacterial culture for my body, my gut, and my whole family's. The reason that I was gifted the bread is because I started talking to the family about it, and it already made a really nice loaf of white bread that got eaten, and everybody's like, hell yeah, mom's starting again. And we're going to pour candles and stuff. We're going to get back to our life. So you can hear me live. But if you think me and mine are done with the apocalypse, you know, I am Tribe Judah with the king and my brother. You think we're done? We need rest. We need relaxation. We need victory, celebration, quietly, soberly, on holy ground. And I can tell you about my house. I can tell you about any and every house that my children, my 10 children reside within. Any house they reside, it is holy ground. Any place they work, they make it holy ground. But I've heard stories. I've lived stories. So we're having to still put up with a lot of bullshit in our gorgeous place. So when I celebrate quietly, as I head to my first of at least 5 new traditions that are from my ancient life, it is Michaelmas coming. My 4th child was born in this month, and you need to remember, America, my brother dropped dead twice in a street when I was 12 and 14 in September. During the same time frame of 2 years, when I was 12 and 14, my dad's brother, that was the one above him, there were 6 children. 1 died in infancy. Howard Clayton died in infancy from starvation, even though Grandmama nursed him. They were all pinching pennies. And my grandfather stood strong and would not copy his ancestors and have slavery in his history. He chose poverty, or it was thrust on him either way. He was having children with his wife, loved her deeply. She loves him. She couldn't even remarry because the bastard wouldn't treat the kids the way she knew her children needed to be treated. I got an entire Protestant Catholic world in the grand old party who don't treat my kids right. So, it's in my book. It's in my book. The one that America killed because it's too accurate. How I called you into repentance. It's too accurate. You don't do what this woman Trajuta elect knows you need to do. Now, there's a reason for this commentary with this poem. There will be 2 pieces of art with rhinestones. There will be some vocabulary, and there will be, in this book, small book that I haven't gotten the privilege to use in a long time, and then there will be the regular me choosing several verses to copy. I don't know if it'll be a 1 or 2 page spread for Mr. Wadsworth, Longfellow, and I. And let's see, last one we fellowshipped with together, I'm not sure if it's on blogs or not, I've lost track, was A Gleam of Sunshine. Yeah, it's probably up, but if it's not, I'll get it up really quick. I've completed it. So I may actually have the privilege of two blog articles today on my new poetry website. I actually had that privilege yesterday. I put up one that I labored along with, and it's beautiful. That went up. So it's nice to have my freedom. I was able to put up Marielle Trump's book and my hard-earned artwork last night on my new book review. Peter Strzok is there. Azusa Street Revival. I want the world to know when I walk into my church, I'm a member now, they're not bothering me. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you, Bethel Austin. I appreciate your sensitivity to Trajuta. My brother and I have safely and soundly brought, with the King of Kings, brought the Azusa Street Revival into the building being paid off as soon as possible of Bethel Austin. Would you like me to repeat that? The King, my brother, and I have successfully and soberly and in much awe of creation, true creation, brought the Azusa Street Revival with my grandmother and I back. Don't ever forget. I can't speak his name right now. It's holy ground. But the gentleman who began the Azusa Street Revival is with me. No, this is not going on blogs. You don't deserve anything of my real testimony, America, but that doesn't mean I shut up like you wanted me to, particularly by January of 2017 when my entire publisher left. I'm leaving it to Mr. at the good God above, very strong father figure, to pull you out of Lucifer's ass. With me. So it's like delivering a baby out of Lucifer, who I've, of course, met. He's not allowed to talk to me. In more than one body form. They're all white skin. He's a big dude. So is Gabriel. In my realm, they're white. Excuse me. In my realms, they are white. In Bernice King's realms, they are black. In Ruth Bader Ginsburg's realms, they're smaller men that are probably mixed race. And you see, my father and the king can change into different skin colors around me. So I'm a little tricky, but the archangels, Gabriel and Lucifer, are large, yes, sexy, white men. I don't care about the sexy part, and neither do they. We're tired. Exhausted even. The three of us. Okay. So why, Cara, did you put sexy in there? Because I am going to remind the entirety of the Christian nation of the Western world how what it says according to the Apostle Paul, who's here right now, or you wouldn't be getting my vitriol. There is neither male nor female in our midst. America, Western world, the Queen just passed. The idiots are now pretending to be king and whatever, and they should be in jail. They should be in jail. Yikes. This is so elementary. It's rotten. I see a whole bunch of old wineskins bursting. Now, cup of coffee almost drunk. Do not be drunk upon wine. Be filled with great spirit, my loves. Baymax agrees. I'm going to blow out one of two candles because I'm getting hot. And so the tea light remains this morning. My incense finishes and you get a poem, and then I'm going to move on and wished that I could have had a more pleasant time of it this morning, but I do need to release high-level testimony that cannot be written. It's too fantastic. You see, what you're not going to do is hate on Luciferians and Gabriel guys and girls in the process of getting back up. And American Christianity is too adept at treating my archangel brothers as under their control. They don't entertain angels at all, period. They think they rule them, and the king is the only one that can teach you otherwise in his way. And since he's already doing that in my midst, and you're not going to get that testimony, you've been left behind, whomever you are. That's what Gabriel and Lucifer are in town to do. They're eunuchs. You know, the book of John. Revelation 7 and 14. They're eunuchs. Sent. Worldwide. Where there's money. Their whole regiments. Huge groups. Huge groups of archangels. To separate you tares. And I wrote about this in my Double Means Prayer Initiative that you destroyed, but I've got the books. You ain't got the time for Tara, the little sister. What just happened? Nothing, America. Move along. The Arsenal at Springfield. I just began this September 10th, 2022. This is the Arsenal. From floor to ceiling, like a huge organ rise the burnished arms. But from their silent pipes, no anthem pealing startles the villages with strange alarms. Ah, what a sound will rise, how wild and dreary, when the death angel touches those swift keys. What loud lament and dismal miserere will mingle with their awful symphonies. I hear even now the infinite fierce chorus, the cries of agony, the endless groan, which through the ages that have gone before us in long reverberations reach our own. On helm and harness rings the Saxon hammer. Through Cimbric forest roars the Norseman's song, and loud amid the universal clamor, o'er distant deserts sounds the Tartar gong. I hear the Florentine who from his palace wheels out his battle bell with dreadful din, and Aztec priests upon their teocallis beat the wild war drums made of serpent's skin. The tumult of each sacked and burning village, the shout that every prayer for mercy drowns, the soldiers' revels in the midst of pillage, the wail of famine in beleaguered towns. The bursting shell, the gateway wrenched asunder, the rattling musketry, the clashing blade, and ever and anon in tones of thunder, the diapason of the cannonade. It is, O man, with such discordant noises, with such accursed instruments as these, thou drownest nature's sweet and kindly voices, and jarrest the celestial harmonies? Where half the power that fills the world with terror, where were half the wealth bestowed on camps and courts, given to redeem the human mind from error, there was no need of arsenals or forts. The warrior's name would be a name abhorred in every nation that should lift again its hand against a brother on its forehead, would wear forevermore the curse of Cain. Down the dark future, through long generations, the echoing sounds grow fainter and then cease. And like a bell with solemn, sweet vibrations, I hear once more the voice of Christ say, peace. Peace. And no longer from its brazen portals, the blast of war's great organ shake the skies. But beautiful as songs of the immortals, the holy melodies of love arise.